Hi, Michelle here. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 6 Hoyas that surprised me the most, and why, of course. These Hoyas I've had for different reasons that have shocked me, surprised me, done things that I didn't realize that they were going to do. All in some way. These are not like, big, giant, plant tea shockers or anything like that, but just, plants that pleasantly surprised me. And I thought that if I showed you, you might be pleasantly surprised too. If you liked today's video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That lets me know if I'm on the right track with my content. If you'd like to see other plant-related content, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. And if you have anything you'd like to add to the conversation, please put it in the comment section below. I like to interact with my comment section, so I will get back to you. And now on for the first Hoya. The first Hoya is probably not one you're gonna think of, and that is the Svetlana. Now, to look at this Svetlana, you would say, okay, it's a Svetlana. But I say it's great because this Svetlana is definitely one of those that proves that this is a slow grower. What I did was I cut mine in half because I got it, it was rooted in a really chunky cocoa husk mix, and when I got it, the roots were really dried up. Cocoa husk is really hard. Cocoa husk chunks are really hard for us to keep moist here in the desert. They just dry up in like a day or two. So I cut this up into 2 pieces, and I put it in tree fern fiber and perlite. And amazingly enough, in just a few months, it pushed out this new leaf, this new kind of warped leaf. This is still a new one. This new leaf and this new leaf. So I was excited to see that it pushed out 3 new leaves for me. And that was in the space of about 3 months. So for the Svetlana, that's pretty good. I still have the strawberry fork to keep this down because it was kind of a shorter cutting. You can see over here, it looks like this Svetlana has had a lot of cuttings taken from it. Either that or, maybe it had flat mites. But I'm going to go with the taking a lot of cuttings until I know otherwise. I wish that it would produce leaves that are just like the mother leaf or the primary leaf. I know it will eventually. It's just got to get a nice solid root system, fill this pot up with roots, and then it'll push out good roots again, because this is the last leaf, and it's getting a lot larger. So definitely the first plant to surprise me the most is the Svetlana because of its new growth after rooting. I'm getting really excited to see what it's going to do after its roots fill the pot in another couple of months. Svetlana. The second plant that surprises me the most is probably going to be one that, more people would probably think of, and that is the piestolepis. And this is, you just can't get enough of the new leaves, how their abs are. See if I can get this in a good position so you can see the abs. This plant, I'll maybe have to see if I can get some B-roll. And there's some new leaves right there as well. This plant, the focus is all on the new leaves, how beautiful they are. I got 2 cuttings. I bought one for myself, and then I got this one as a gift for my birthday. The neat thing about the piestolepis is that they are pubescent on the undersides, so they are nice and fuzzy. This one, like I said, has produced new leaves, and there is a new growth tip right up there that's producing new tips. And there is a node there and a node right there that looks like it is going to produce new growth. So it shocked me with how red the leaves were. They feel just, you can feel the abs just running down your finger down. It's just amazing. So this plant was amazing to me in what it looks like as the new growth comes out. I really love it. This is going to be a fun one for me to watch grow. And I'm so glad I got 2 cuttings of it so I can see it grow twice as fast. So the second plant is the piestolepis. The third plant is probably, again, not one that most people would think of, and this is the tengchungensis. And the reason why I'm saying that this plant surprised me the most is I featured this last time on a video of plants that was not doing that well. Well, I'm happy to say that since that video, all of these leaves right here are new. This growth tip is new, and it has pushed out all of these new leaves on the end of the stem, as well as an active growth tip. So I am so excited because, that leaf is new as well. So I was so excited because this plant was on the verge of death. I mean, it really was. I was so worried that it was going to die. I had a lot of people tell me to pin it to the ground, which I'm still going to do. Now that it's longer, I'm going to pin it to the ground so that it roots in more places than just one. But I was so excited to see this stem, especially with its new growth. And it just literally grew out of nowhere. I didn't pay no attention to it for like 5 days, and up popped 6 new leaves. With 2 new growth tips and all these new leaves, this is definitely a surprise plant for me, the tengchungensis. The fourth plant that is a surprise to me is the Carrii. This is the plant that is known to be the one that looks like an anthurium. It's not as thin-leafed as I would think. Once the leaves form, they are fairly thick. I would say they are the size of a lacanosa leaf, maybe not a croniana, but a lacanosa leaf. They're very smooth. They're kind of velveteen. This started as these 2 leaves and this leaf right here, and it split in half all the way down here, and it's got these new leaves, this new leaf, and it's broken off into this new growth tip with these 2 leaves and this new growth tip. But it's got a little bit of a damaged leaf right there. That's the original leaf, and this leaf is quite thick. I'm not going to touch any of the other new leaves though. But the reason why the Carrii surprises me, motorcycle going by. The reason why the Carrii surprises me is I wasn't expecting as many leaves close together as I have gotten. Now there is quite a space between this leaf all the way down and these leaves right here. That's probably about 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches. But the rest of these leaves are really close together. So that means that this Carrii can be trellised fairly easily, and it's not going to look like a mess on a smaller trellis. So I thought that was really good because this can be displayed on a smaller scale. You know, it is a small plant. Let me look at the cup. I don't see any roots, but you know, then again, that doesn't mean anything with you know, a cutting this small. You know, I pull up and it pulls up the whole cup. So obviously it's well rooted. But the speed at which it produces leaves is also very surprising. It produces leaves very quickly. I've owned this plant, well, let's see. I don't have a date on this. I've owned this plant, I'll have to put it below. I've owned it for about a year. No, maybe 8 months. I'll put it below. So it's really grown a lot in that time frame. So the the fourth plant that really surprised me is the Carrii. The fifth plant that surprised me is the Collina IR-26. Sometimes this is known as the tengchungensis. So, you know, you can know that. The thing I love about this is look at that beautiful coloration. This is under a very low light. These are all new leaves. So this is why these came in this color. The reason why this plant surprises me, this is one stem and it's produced all of these cuttings from that one stem. I need to get this retrellised a little bit. It's a little bit of a chaotic looking situation here, but all of this is all new. So I need to get this. I need to get a clip right there is what I need to get. This cutting has been rerouted. As you can see, it's got a beautiful root right there. Right there. It's got a beautiful root. But other than that, the roots are not showing through the pot yet. My trellis is pretty flimsy. But the reason why this surprises me so much is all of this new purple growth. This was in the detolf right here off to the side and was basically getting no attention, and it kind of said, hey, you don't want to give me no attention, I'm going to put out, you know, 10 new leaves. So it surprised me because when I wasn't paying attention to it, it put out all these beautiful new leaves. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, when I got the plant, the leaves looked like this, tiny round leaves. When you give it high humidity and lower light, it produces, or maybe just lower light, it produces these huge round coin-shaped leaves. So no tiny leaf. If you have a Collina IR-26 with these tiny, tiny little leaves, put it in lower light. So that's what surprised me the most about the Collina IR-26. And finally, my sixth and final plant that surprises me the most, and that is my Microdwarf. I was told that it would grow like wildfire, and I wouldn't say that it's grown like wildfire, but I would say that it has branched off in quite a few places. I got this as a little cutting, and so it has branched off in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different stems. So I think in a year, that's pretty good. I would like them to be a little longer so that I can trellis them. But you know, hey, I had this in a lot of light. That's why it's pale and a little sun stressed, as you can see by this leaf here. I have it in a lot lower light now, and while it's not really producing a lot of leaves, it is still producing leaves. I did notice that when it was in higher light, it did produce a lot of leaves, but they were smaller, and they were a lighter color. But I am hoping that the lower light situation produces some plentiful growth so that I can trellis this up and we could have a nice bushy plant. What would be even further exciting is if I could go ahead and get this plant to bloom. I surely don't think I could be the first one to get it to bloom, but if I was like the 5,000th person to get it to bloom, that would be pretty cool. So the sixth and final plant that surprises me the most, because it has grown so many expansion stems, would be the microdwarf. Thank you for joining me today for the 6 Hoyas that have really surprised me for one reason or the other. I really enjoyed going into the cabinet and finding these and getting a little bit of a surprise. It's always nice when you don't take a look at your Hoyas for a while to get nice surprises instead of unpleasant surprises. I hope that you found this entertaining and fun as well. Until next time, I'll see you again. Thanks. Bye.